We are Steve and Jill. Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. And Jill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about property, data quality then and now. So what do I mean by that? As you can imagine, the quality of data that's collected between 1970 and now is dramatically different in any industry, and real estate's no different. But here's the thing. Since the beginning of time, since the beginning of organized American time, America, counties have been keeping an assessor database of people who own property because that's the only way they can send out in the mail tax bills. And so over time, it used to be it was the property number, the APN, the assessor parcel number, and maybe the size of it, like 22 acres, and possibly a legal description, and then Sally and John Smith and their address.
Isn't that amazing?
Well, it's dramatically evolved since then. And the reason that it's evolved is because of the assessors all over the country, there's 3,144 counties. So for sake of argument, there's that many assessors, and they all have a different way of doing things. So they have progressively created more, let's say for lack of, they have created more columns in a spreadsheet to collect data on the properties within their jurisdiction to more accurately tax them. 5 acres in the center of town and 5 acres way on the outskirts on the county edge are completely assessed differently. Nobody can argue that. The one in the middle of town is worth way more money. So,
as this like commercial and different zoning?
Yes, and zoning and all that stuff. So but here's the good news. This day and age, we have the most accurate data, the most sophisticated data set at our fingertips to price offers than we have ever had, ever. So data then and data now, they can't make it easier for us, for real estate investors, to send offers out accurately, price accurately, smoke out the people who truly want to sell their property fast and efficiently and perfectly. If I sat down in front of Santa Claus and said, boy, next year I would like to have this data set and I'd like to have it set up, I honestly couldn't think of something better.
Really?
Yep.
You think everything's covered?
From an assessor database standpoint, yes. Then when you couple it with yesterday's show, which is Redfin data, Redfin and Realtor.com tell you where to send it. If you utilize the data correctly, they tell you where a property's turning the fastest. Those two markets, that center of town 5 acre properties, that zip code's churning faster just because there's more people buying and selling property. And the outskirts, not so much. But when you're really green, yellow, and red, which I think we're going to talk about tomorrow, that coupled with the assessor data, which allows you to send out a correct offer, you really, really dramatically remove most or not all, but most of the risk in this.
Two of the things that you described then and now, what we didn't have years ago and we have now, which I think dramatically changed the game for us all, are one, improvement percentage, because I need to know if there's something on there.
Yeah. I
don't want to waste my time. And that's something that wasn't probably available then, and we have that now. And that also, and why do they need to know that? Because they're going to, of course, tax it differently. If it's an empty vacant lot versus now it has a hotel on it, we're going to price it differently and tax you differently.
Dramatically differently.
So the improvement percentage. The other thing that I don't know how much this applies to assessors, but it sure does apply to us, which is the mortgage ratio and if it's paid off or not. That is huge. We don't want to deal with a bank.
Most people probably don't even know what's available.
Yeah. Then I'm trying to think of a best way that they can go look. They can see. Well, you know what? I know where they can look. If you really want to know what we're talking about and see the 300 columns that we have, I'll tell you a quick way to find it. Do you know?
Yeah, I know too well.
Yeah. So if you go to our website, because you can see
one of our websites.
It's called Offers.
Jill and I own a bulk mail company that allows our members and people that are not in our community, albeit different rates, to send offers out to owners. It's called offers2owners.com.
Yeah. So it's offers and then number 2 and then owners.com. So here's what I want you to do. Go there, go to the forms tab, and then you'll see in there, you'll actually see our mailers. If you want to see a sample land mailer or a sample SFR, single family residence mailer. So you're trying to hit someone and do the same thing that we're doing with homes. They're both of our templates are right there. So that's pretty cool.
It's a great idea.
But the second thing, what I really want you to see is go look at the data sources. Like there's one in there, for an example, like imagine, I think it's Torrance is in there, Torrance, California.
There's a data set in there. And if you look at the top of the column, download it and look at the top of the columns and you can see what's available.
Wow, look at all this data that they have at their fingertips. It's pretty darn cool.
You can see if there's any debt on the property and if there is, what the mortgage amount is at the time that you're downloading it. You can see if the land assessed value versus the improvement assessed value. And if the improvement value is 0, that means it's vacant land. It's tremendous. It's amazing. Yeah, you can see what the former sale price.
Well, you can even
get when it was sold.
I mean, if you're doing houses,
it allows you to send out a perfectly priced mailer.
Right. If you're doing houses, just for example, and this is actually, we're not talking about land or houses right now, but you could put down 3-bedroom, 2-bath, no pool. I want this type of a roof. I want it built after 1975 because I don't want to deal with the wiring before then.
No mortgage.
I mean, I want no mortgage. I even think
less than 1,800.
You could even put, if it's, I want to say there's even a column in there. I have to go back and check this, but I think it's even, you could put whether it's a north, south, east, west facing home. It's like shocking what is in there.
I'm not sure about that.
But it's talk about detail.
That wouldn't be a data. There probably is, actually.
I think it's in there. For some, not every county, obviously.
Then you can sort by, we're licensed providers of this data. They RealQuest themselves, which is the data provider, they aggregate all 3,000 counties and by the way, all assessors have a different format that they use. And so one of the things that RealQuest does to make it really easy is put it all in the same format. So whether you're sending it out in Elko County, Nevada, or in Boston, let's say, or anywhere that's in the same format. So you don't have to relearn this every single time you do it.
It's huge.
And so, there's too much to talk to. It's beyond the scope of this. Yeah. I mean, yes. Yeah. To get back right to the point, there's no comparison to then and now.
Isn't that amazing?
We're obviously data freaks.
What's going to change? You know what?
Boring to listen to.
I think that something's coming. And it might be what you're doing. I think that the only missing pieces, we have all the answers now. We pretty much have everything we could possibly want. I don't need to know more about the people or their demographics. Maybe that's going to be coming.
Let's say one of the things that we struggle with is property on a main thoroughfare.
Right.
So a lot of the properties that we get back in the mail positively, they sign them and send them back. It's on a major highway, which we don't like. Some people love that. Cool. That's just not our thing. Some people love to take a property like that and convert it to commercial. And so
traffic count. Yeah. Traffic count would be good.
Here's the thing. Now it's instead of taking the data and surmising that through 6 or 7 other pieces of the data that are in the data set, you're up to the discretion of the actual assessor.
Right.
Somebody's going in there and saying, "Is this property on yes, check, check, check."
Based on what criteria?
I don't need to tell you that at times government employees may or may not be the highest quality, most qualified person.
They don't make mistakes.
So
no.
You have to be careful with data that comes from somebody's opinion versus. So we'll leave it at that. There's probably a GPS way to surmise that with some algorithm. But anyway, my point is, it doesn't get any better than it is right now. And if you learn this, you will eat well for the rest of your life.
Need to send out a few thousand offers to property owners like us? Check out offers and the number 2 owners.com. So it's offers2owners.com. No setup fees, free mail merge, exceptional service, and now including just released for everyone, concierge data and pricing. It's awesome. Give Offers to Owners a call today.
We are Steve and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.